Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neeru Tandon, Head Department of English, VSSG College, Kanpur. We are presenting paper on linguistics. This module number 21, Predicate and Argument Structures, has been written by Dr. Shamim Fatima from Department of Computational Linguistics, Mahatma Gandhi Antarrashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya, Wardha, Maharashtra. In this module, we will discuss the theta theory, its relevance and important components. We will also discuss relevant approaches to the predicates and their arguments. Argument structure, thematic structure of verbs will also be discussed. Verbs are like nuclei on which the structure of a sentence is built. It is necessary to understand the nature of a verb in order to form a sentence. Traditionally, verbs are put into two categories: intransitive verbs and transitive verbs. Intransitive verbs which do not need object to complete a sentence. For example, in English, to sleep, to laugh, to eat. Transitive verbs need one or more objects to complete a sentence, like to eat, to give. We need something to eat. If we say to eat, we need something, some object to eat. To give, we also need some object to give. But to laugh, we don't require anything. We can laugh on our own. We can sleep on our own. So that is something, the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are further put into two subcategories. Those which take one object, that is direct object. For example, to eat bread. So that is object. To read a book. Those which take two objects, direct object and indirect object. For example, to give, to fill. The latter is called ditransitive verb. Recent developments in the area have pointed out that the above definitions and classifications are not adequate to discuss the nature of all verbs. It can be understood by the example of English verbs to put and to fill. In order to describe the verbs to put and to fill, we have to mention not only the subject and object, but also location of where the things are to be put or filled. Consider following sentences. Raj put the book on the desk. Raj put the book. Raj is filling water in the bucket. Raj is filling water. So in first and second sentence of the first category, we find Raj is the subject, book and water are objects respectively. Then what is the relation of on the desk and in the bucket with the verbs put and fill in first and the second category of sentences? In which category these location part of the sentences on the desk and in the bucket are to be put? If they are neither subject nor object, then what type of relation they have with verbs? If we delete them from sentences, the sentences go wrong. What type of roles they have in sentences? For such reason, the theta theory has been developed to answer these questions, to make you understand these questions. These are very important, simple but important questions. Theta theory. Theta theory is a principle of grammar which accounts for the relation between predicates and their arguments. In modern grammar, predicate is a verb the nature of which decides the number and type of arguments to form a grammatically and semantically correct sentence. Argument, noun phrase or prepositional postpositional phrase which take part in the completion of a sentence. For example, Raj goes to school. Theta roles are the relations which arguments bear with their verbs. Each and every NP or PP receives a specific theta role from a verb in the sentence. Idiom chunks or elements, for example, Expletive it or their inserted to occupy an obligatory position of syntactic structure which are not included in NP arguments. The overt anaphors are expressions and pronominals including empty elements such as pro and pro are all arguments because they have theta roles. Now, what is the position of the argument? Let us also discuss about it. It is a position to which a theta role is assigned. The argument position is termed as a theta position. Object position is always a theta position, but the subject position may or may not be a theta position. If the subject position is filled by expletive it or there, then it is not a theta position. If the subject position is filled by an argument, it is a theta position. Consider some examples that I am going to discuss. Just see on your screen. The boy is playing football. Child is laughing. It is raining. There is a boy playing in the garden. Now you see that subject noun phrase the boy and object noun phrase football are arguments. The boy is playing football. Subject noun phrase the boy is the initiator of the action and the object noun phrase football is the object at which the action is done. In next sentence, child is laughing. We see that noun phrase child is an argument which is doing action of laughing. Then in 6th and the 7th sentence, which is we are using it is raining, there is a boy playing in the garden. Expletive it and there are at the subject positions respectively. So expletive it and there do not have any semantic relations with verb. In other words, we cannot say that what type of role they are playing in sentences. Hence, they are not the theta positions. An actual or potential theta position, it is termed as A position. A position or A bar position, it is a position where no theta role is assigned to an noun phrase. Theta roles. See the symbol on your screen. This is the symbol used to denote the theta. Theta roles are the name of the relation which arguments have with their predicates in a sentence. Following are the theta roles which argument may have in sentences. You see in this chart, there are theta roles, then there are definitions and the examples are also there. When theta role is the role of the agent, the definition will be that the agent is the initiator of the action, it voluntarily does the action. And the example, Raj is playing football. Who is the agent over here? Raj. Raj is the initiator of the action. Now, patient, living entity that is the target of the action. In other words, the individual that is affected by an action is the patient. So the boy hits Raj. Who is being hit? It is Raj. So he is being affected by the action of hitting. So he is the patient. Now we have theme. Non-living entity that undergoes an action which may result in a change of a state is known as theme. Rice cooked. Rice, the word rice over here is the theme. Experiencer. Living entity involuntarily experiences the event which can be mental or physical. The child is sneezing. We find the experiencer over here. Then we have goal, towards which an individual or an entity moves. The boy is going to the market. Now that is the goal and the boy is just and moving towards that and that is market, so it is goal. So these are the theta roles. Now we have some more theta roles like source, location, instrument, recipient or beneficiary. When we say source, the train is coming from Delhi. So the source is from Delhi. the location, the boy is sleeping in the room, the place where action takes place. So where is boy sleeping? In the room. This is location. Again, that is theta role. Then instrument, the boy is cutting fruits with knife. With knife. This knife is the instrument by which the action of cutting is taking place. So that is again the theta role. And then the recipient, the boy gave a book to Raj. Raj over here is a recipient or a beneficiary who received the book given by the boy. So again, that he is playing the role of a theta role. Now theta roles are assigned by the lexical properties of the head which govern them. In a sentence, verb is the head which determines the number and nature of arguments and assigns them a specific theta role. The head and its argument must be in local relationship for the assignment of the theta role, as the government theory says that A governs B if A C commands B and there is no barrier for B C command by A. As mentioned in earlier slide that for the assignment of theta roles, the locality relation between verbs and its argument is essential. The verb may assign theta roles to NPs only within its maximal projection, that is verb phrase subject. It may or may not be a theta position. It depends on the lexical choices. For example, the workers seems to protest against the chairman. It seems that the workers will protest against the chairman. There are two different types of subjects in front of you, sentences. So the first sentence is a complex sentence which has two verbs, seem and protest. The subject of the verb protest is the workers. When it moves to the subject position of seem, it cannot be assigned any theta role by it. However, it forms a chain with the trace it has left behind in the subject position of the verb protest. Thereby, it has the same theta role as trace, namely the agent. In the second sentence, the workers, the subject of the embedded clause, is assigned the agent theta role by protest. As the subject of the main clause is in a non-theta position in the second sentence and it is occupied by the expletive it. According to the hypothesis of verb phrase internal subject hypothesis, the subject originates in and after the assignment of theta roles, it moves to spec IP position to fulfill another requirement, that is for taking the case. Now this diagram shows the boy brought sweets from the shop. Now what is the position of which word is shown through this diagram? Now what is the theta criteria? One of the important components of theta theory is the theta criteria. It puts constraint on the assignment of the theta roles to the arguments. According to Chomsky in 1981, theta creation is defined as follows. I quote, each argument bears one and only one theta role and each theta role is assigned to one and only one argument, unquote. There must be a one-to-one correspondence between theta roles and their arguments in a sentence. Number of arguments should not be more or less than the number of theta roles of the verb. Consider the following example. Thematic structure of the verb to eat, that is, Raj eats pizza. Raj eats pizza burger. Thematic structure of the verb to kill, that is agent or patient. Raj kills wolf. Raj kill. In this, the verb to eat needs only two essential theta roles, agent and theme. C has more arguments than the number of theta roles to be assigned. In next sentence 11a, the verb to kill has two theta roles, agent and patient, to assign to its arguments, but the 11c has the less number of arguments, only one argument, that is Raj. Then the required number of arguments for the assignment of theta roles are there. One theta role, that is theme, left unassigned due to the lack of the arguments. In both the cases, in sentence 10c and 11c, the theta criteria gets violated. Thematic structure of to eat as agent and theme both, we say Raj eats pizza and burger. Here Raj is the agent and pizza and burger are the theme. If the arguments pizza and burger are conjoined by and, then they become one entity and they can take single theta role, that is theme. What I told you about argument, you can see in this particular slide that they have been divided into two parts, essential argument and non-essential argument. Without essential argument, we know that the sentence remains incomplete, and non-essential argument, it's not necessary to complete the sentence. For example, Raj is filling water in the bucket is the essential argument. If I am saying Raj is filling water, if in the bucket is removed, we cannot understand that Raj is filling water to where. Non-essential argument, Raj gave me a book in the classroom. Raj can give me a book anywhere. So whether he gave me in the classroom or somewhere else, that is non-essential argument. In 13a, there are three arguments. Noun phrase Raj as agent, noun phrase water as theme, and PP in the bucket as location. The sentence is correct. All the arguments in 13a are essential for the sentence to be correct. If any of them will be removed, the sentence would be incorrect, as it is clear from 13b. The location argument, that is the bucket, is missing in sentence 13b and the sentence is wrong. Non-essential arguments are adjunct which provide additional information. They are not essential for the sentence to be complete. If they are removed from a sentence, it won't affect the grammaticality of it. The sentence remains correct and complete in its own. In 14a, there are four arguments. Noun phrase Raj as agent, noun phrase me as goal, noun phrase book as theme, and PP in the classroom as location. Here the location argument PP in the classroom is an additional information which can be dropped from the sentence. It won't affect the grammaticality of a sentence, as it is clear from the sentence 14b. Verbs may be grouped according to the number of the essential arguments they take. Required number of arguments must be there to produce a well-formed structure. Intransitive verbs need only one essential argument. The verbs which take two arguments are basically transitive. There are some transitive verbs which need a sentential argument as one of their arguments to generate a correct sentence. Now you see in this chart that there are verbs which need one essential argument. Examples are given: to sleep, to laugh, to run, to fell. Verbs which need two essential arguments, three essential arguments, and verbs which take a sentential argument: to swear, to claim, to listen, to hear. So that is something that makes clear that how many arguments are required for a verb to complete the sentence. Now again, to further my argument, I am just showing you this particular chart which will help you in understanding. I'll just give you the fourth example which take a sentential argument, that is agent and theme, agent, theme and experiencer. I promise that I will come. I advise you to go to Delhi. Here we have a sentential argument. We have agent, theme, and experiencer both. Now when we talk about argument or the thematic structure of the verb which take one essential argument, I say to run. I say the boy runs. That is one theta argument. To fell, the tree fell. To die, the boy died. To sneeze, the child is sneezing. So child is experiencer over here. To sew, that is agent and theme both. She is sewing clothes. Agent and the clothes is a theme. To kill, he killed wolf. He is the agent, wolf is the patient, and so on and so forth. These are some more examples that you can see and practice. Argument or thematic structures of the verb which need a sentential argument in their theta grid. There are verbs which take a sentential argument in their theta grid. Such verbs are further classified in two categories. Number one, the verbs which need two arguments, that is agent and theme, and the verbs which need three arguments, that is agent, theme and experiencer. Theme argument in both types of verb is sentence or clause. These are some more examples to make it clear what I said earlier. Now let us talk about theta absorption. An argument that is otherwise essential but is nevertheless omitted from the surface of the sentence and still the sentence is complete represents the case of theta absorption. For example, Raj is playing football. If I say Raj is playing, even then the sentence is complete. He is playing, he may play any game. But if I want to say he is playing football, then it is the sentence is complete also. In another sentence, the theme argument, that is game, has been absorbed in the verb play, not a football. The arguments which are generic in nature or lacks specification can be absorbed in the verb, such as something readable, something edible. The argument can be dropped from the surface if it can be understood from the context. The verbs vary language to language in this regards. In Hindi, Urdu, we can drop the argument if it is contextually specified, but in English, we have to put it at the place of the argument being dropped. Consider next example. Suppose I say to buy. Raj is buying fruits from fruit shop. In Hindi, we will say Raj फल की दुकान से फल खरीद रहा है. Now see, Raj fruit shop from fruit buying is. Raj is buying fruits. Raj फल खरीद रहा है. Raj is buying. Raj खरीद रहा है. So in the first sentence, what we did, the sentence has all the three arguments: agent, Raj, theme, fruit, फल, and source, fruit shop, फल की दुकान से. The construction of both English and Urdu and Hindi are correct. Sentences have two arguments: agent Raj and theme fruit. Raj फल खरीद रहा है. The source argument has been dropped in both the construction of English and Hindi, and the sentences are correct. In next sentence, only agent argument Raj is present in the sentence of English and Hindi Urdu both. English sentence of 29 is not correct with agent Raj only, but its Hindi equivalent is correct if we use such sentence in reference to earlier context. In English, we will have to put it at the place of the theme argument in order to make it correct. Raj is buying it. So there are several verbs which differ in English and Hindi in regard to the number and nature of the arguments they take. Chomsky in 1981 and again in 1986 has coined the term theta absorption for this phenomena of the absorption of the argument in a verb. It was Gruber who for the first time talked about this phenomena of theta absorption in the name of incorporation. Incorporation is the phenomena where two elements become one unit and present at the surface of a sentence. The phenomena of incorporation differs from the phenomena of theta absorption, where arguments of the verbs are dropped from a surface and are inferred from the semantics of verbs. To sum up, I will say that the number of underlying theta role is same in all languages, but as languages differ in regard to their capacity of theta absorption, the surface manifestation of theta role may differ from language to language. And it can better be understood that whenever we just put any sentence, so we can understand whether the receiver is important or not, whether the source is important or not, whether the position is important or not, whether we can drop it or not. All these things will be clear to you once you will go through this theta theory accordingly, and you will enjoy writing sentences and reading sentences. Enjoy your linguistic paper, and thank you for visiting EPG Pathshala.